Ivan Katz here with the Mustang GT amp. This one's the Mustang GT 100, and I'm going to show you how to turn it on, update it, connect to Bluetooth, connect to Wi-Fi, program sounds, save them to your Fender Tone app, and download other cool stuff from the Fender Tone app in a nice and easy way. Let's get started. This is the GT 100 and the power button's in the back. I believe the 40 is too, and probably the 200 as well. So just turn it on. Now, of course, you've got the standard controls. You've got gain, volume, treble, middle, bass, reverb, master. I'm not going to go into any of that stuff. You guys know how to use it. But I will get into the more technical stuff on the amp, especially when it comes to programming it and how to do that. The basic way this works is you have three different banks here. This one, and this one. And these buttons correlate to each. And this is the button you use to scroll and select. So let's say we want to tweak the sound of this basic 65 twin. No problem, we just click here and that brings us down to that bank. Then we can control the gain, we can control the volume, we can control the treble, the middle, the bass, and then of course there's a bright switch and anything else here you can get into as well, noise gate. And you can even get into the gate position and then the power supply and even the tube settings. So this is really an incredible amp. Okay, now let's say we want to add a stomp box. No problem. We just go right in here, second bank, click it, and then turn the knob right here, scroll it over, and you'll see we'll get to a plus button. So you go into the plus, and then look, you can add all of this stuff. Stomp box, modulation, delay, reverb. So really cool. Let's add a stomp box, shall we? So let's go ahead and add some fuzz. And you can actually change the chain also, as I'm doing right here, by scrolling left and right. If you want it before the amp, then put it there. If you want it to go after the amp, then put it here. So you really do have a lot of control. Let's go ahead and keep it after, and then go ahead in, and we can tweak it, the level of the fuzz there. Once you press this button, that's when you actually make it turn red, and then you get in and you can actually adjust everything. Now I'm done, so I'll press the button again and then scroll right. Now I can adjust the gain. Now I can adjust the octave. So that's what you do. You keep on heading over and you can adjust all of these things infinitely. And you can even go ahead and add another one as well too. Go ahead and press save. It's going to do that for me. So that's how you then go ahead and save it. Now I don't want to save this one because I've already set it up. So that's okay. I'll just go back out here and then scroll to something else, turn the amp off, and then we're okay there. It's not going to overwrite anything. It will respond to however fast or slow you tap it. That will be the delay echo speed. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you turn the amp on is actually get your Wi-Fi working. And how do you do that? Well, you go to menu right here. There you are. And then you can scroll through and turn on Bluetooth and things like that. I already have it turned on, but again, it works like everything else. So you just scroll on through till you get to Bluetooth. There you go. And then you press the button. And then you can see that Bluetooth is on, and then you can go back there. So I go back, and then we can go to Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi, I actually have already gone in, but what you do is, if you find Wi-Fi here, then you'll want to go ahead and scroll through whatever you can find, and in other words, you can just go ahead and click in there, and then you can put in your password. You can do all sorts of things. So if you say connect, that's when it prompts you to do your password, and then you're not going to see anything. So what you do is you tap here and it'll bring up numbers and letters, and you just scroll through and then press to select, go to the next one, and then scroll through and press to select, and you keep doing that until you enter your password in, and then you're connected to Wi-Fi after you press connect. Now the reason we connect to Wi-Fi first is because we want to upgrade the amp. Bluetooth is used to connect to your phone, and there's a Fender amp that you download, and then you can actually really get in and program the amp and download stuff from other people. Plus you can upload your settings and your sounds, and that way you can always retrieve them later. Once you save them under your Fender name, and then you can just search for your Fender name, whatever you logged in as, and then you can find them later. So if you have to switch amps or something like that, that's what you do. I've had to do that, and I learned the hard way. That is what you do. You can't actually take the settings on your amp and put them on your phone and then just transfer them to another amp yet. Maybe they'll make that available in the future. I hope they do. But for now, what you have to do is save your sounds. In other words, you upload them to the cloud, the Fender cloud, and then you download them later. It's really easy to do. I'll show you how. But first, I'll show you how to upgrade the amp, which is the first thing you should do when you turn it on, after you connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, so now I want to update the amp, make sure it's got the latest version of the software. So I hold this button down while I turn on the power at the same time. You've got to hold it down for 5 seconds. Now you can see it's searching for updates. It's going to find the update, and then it's going to download it, and then it's going to install it. Now it shouldn't do that right now for me because I've already done it. Yes, you see no updates available. If there were updates available, they would go ahead and do them, and then it would tell you to restart your amp. Think of it as a computer. Here's a little trick to turn off your effects too. This is pretty cool. So I've got a pedal wah on this sound and also a cine chorus. This is for the Comfortably Numb main solo sound. You can download that on the Fender app. But anyway, watch this. You press the effects button right here, and look, it bypasses the effects. So that way it turns them off and you get the more clean sound. And then of course all you got to do is press the effects button again, and you're back with the effects. Really, really cool. This one's a sound I did for the Charlatans UK, the only one I know. It's kind of a cool wah sort of sound with a bit of phase in it. But anyway, I'll show you a shortcut to the tuner now. You can download that one off of Fender's site too if you want. Just search for it. But here you go. You hold down the tap here, and then you get into the tuner. So there you go. And it'll slide up over here and get you in tune here. It's very easy to use. So great to have that, and then you can either exit out right here or just press the tap button again. See that X right there in the corner? You can go ahead and get out of anything you're into just by pressing like that. Now notice here, if I go in and tweak something, notice the save button is not blinking right now. But if I go in here and I adjust anything, let's say I just go in and adjust the gain just a hair bit up, you see? It turns red, and then the save button lights up, so you can save that change. If you don't want to do that, if you just want to get out, just click right there again, and then just get off of that effect for a second, or that sound actually, and go back to it, and then it'll be back to where it was before you tweaked it. Okay, so we've learned how to tweak the amp. Now let's go ahead into the app. It's a Fender Tone app. You can download it from the Play Store or the Apple Store. But you go out to the main screen here, and then what you do is you click here, and then you will see it gets you to these different areas: My Presets, Set Lists, Download, and Settings. You can actually download set lists, you can tweak and go ahead and set up different sounds using this, or of course download and upload them as well. And it shows you in My Presets what your presets are. But let's go ahead and make sure we are synced with the amp. And the way we do that is we make sure Bluetooth is on our phone and Bluetooth is on the amp, which it is. When you're connecting your amp to your app, make sure you have not only Bluetooth on, but also location on. Don't ask me why, but you have to. Now, we go to settings. So when you go to settings, you're going to see, wait, Bluetooth, it's not connected. So what you do is you press Bluetooth, and then it's going to search for the amp. And there it is. It's found it. Mustang GT. So all I got to do is click, because it says connect. There we go. Connected. Check. You also have the option to disconnect too. Anyway, let's go back and let's go into My Presets and check them out here. So scrolling through here, you can see that everything is as it came standard, and I think you've got 107 presets. So after that, you can see that I've gone ahead and put a whole bunch of sounds in already. So let me show you how I did that. I've actually gone and put in about 185 sounds, but don't worry, there's more. See, we go all the way up to 200, and I'm going to show you how to add more sounds. Now I'm going to go back into, as you saw was in my presets there, then I got out of it. Now I'm going to go into download. So what you have is you can pick the genre featured, or you can pick artist, popular. It's basically what's trending. So let's see what's trending right now. Everybody's going through and they're downloading this AC/DC stuff. Blues solo for Strat, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. So now, how do you add these sounds? All you do is you press add. Now it's open. So what you do is you press open, and you can see it's going through it. And look, on the amp, it went ahead and put in my first free preset, 189 AC/DC. And then you can actually go in, just like anything else, and you can tweak the settings. You can also get out of that and go ahead and tweak these settings. Add some effects, add some stomp box, add some delay. So it's just such a great amp. It's so user-friendly once you learn how to use it. It's really revolutionary, I think. So you can actually go ahead and create a sound here. And you just press the plus button here, and then you can come up with a name. So I'll enter a name here. I'll call it Clean and Fuzzy. And then I save it. I also clicked on Fender 65 Twin Reverb because that's the amp I want to base the sound around. Okay, so Clean and Fuzzy, but I don't have the fuzzy part yet. So I come down here and I just press the plus button. There we go. And then it says add a pre-effect or add a post-effect. Let's have it come in pre. So I'll add a pre-effect, and I'll come in with a stomp box, and I'll go with a fuzz here as promised, and there you go. So I just go up to the top and save it, and then look, I have fuzz and then my Fender 65 Twin Reverb for Clean and Fuzzy. Now, how do I save it up to the Fender Tone App? We'll just come down here and press boop, and it's going to go ahead and do it for me. And what it's going to ask me to do is a description. So I'm going to say a Fender Twin Reverb with some fuzz. So I'm going to pick the genre, and I'll just put it into alternate rock, and I'll go ahead and post it, and boom, there you go. And it actually gives you a URL so you can go and find it later. You can also search. Let's say your favorite band is the Beatles. Just go ahead and search for Beatles and go ahead and search, and look, it's going to find me Beatles sounds. Late Beatles, early Beatles, and you can just, all you got to do, let's say I want the paperback writer sound. Okay, good. I just press add and then open. And then look, presto, magic, change-o. It's now the 195th setting in my amp, paperback writer Beatles. So easy to use, so intuitive, so advanced, sounds great. The Fender GT amp. Woohoo! Okay, so there you go. I've walked you through how to go ahead and update the amp, turn it on, hook it up to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and get into the tuner, the basic settings of the amp, and even how to add stomp boxes and tweak settings, save them, and use the Fender Tone Amp. So basically, you should be up to speed on the new Fender Mustang GT. I love mine. I hope you love yours. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also check out all of my other videos here. A lot of music videos. I'm also Drivin Ivan, I review cars, and I have documentaries, short film, even a literal video. Plus, I do disc golf videos as well. So check out all my videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Ivan Katz.